everybody, it's the 13th Wolfman. Today is the 31 Days of Horror. That's right, 31 days of horror, 31 movies, 31 days. That is right, yeah. This year we're doing the world tour. Popping around all around the world, talking about different movies from different countries. Majority of them from Europe and some from the U.S. We spent the last 2 days in the U.S. Now we're going to go to Germany. Back to Germany. But before we do that, I want you to like, subscribe, share, and comment. I always want to know what you have to say. And when you do subscribe, hit that bell, ding that bell, ring that bell. That way you're notified anytime I put something new up. Along with myself, there are some other people doing this. There's Tony Has 9 Fingers. There's the one and only MSJ. Double Shot J, Carly 317, Retro Horror, Random Horror, Dave Maggot. I mean, there's a lot of people doing this. So just go out there, put in 31 Days of Horror and find out what people are doing, because everyone's got a really cool theme. Now, to get on to the movie today. Like I said, we're going back to Germany. We were in Germany for the Soledad Miranda movie, She Killed in Ecstasy. Now we're back in Germany, and you know what? It's a Jess Franco film, but it's not directed by Jess Franco. It's written by Jess Franco, and it's directed by Andrew. I want to get this right. Andrew Hoven. Yeah. And the movie is The Castle of Creeping Flesh. Now, I was looking forward to seeing this because this was a movie I remembered somewhat as a kid. It's not as good as I remembered it. This is one of those times where nostalgia kind of kicks you in the teeth. You know? So, the story is that the Earl of Saxon has a daughter named Katharina, and she has been raped and murdered. He's going to do what he can do to bring his daughter back to life. There's a Baron Brock, B-R-A-C-K, who is entertaining guests, and along the way they come across. He tells the story of there being the Earl of Saxon not far from there who lives in a castle, and they're like, well, hey, let's go visit the Earl. And he's like, no, we don't want to do that. The Earl's kind of a strange man. He doesn't like people, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's just doing everything he can to keep them away from the Earl. And they decide upon themselves that they're going to go visit the Earl, you know, just to see what's going on. This big monster of a guy answers. They go to the castle, and this big monster of a guy answers the door. Alikos. One of the coolest names I've ever heard. This is the Earl's manservant. You know, he's the equivalent to Lurch from the Addams Family. You know, you rang type of thing. And he's got a creepy vibe going with it. I mean, he really does. I like Alikos. Really cool character. This movie feels like King Lear or some kind of Shakespeare play, you know. So they visit the Earl, and the Earl's like, you know what, you're welcome to stay here, but you have to be here by my rules. And like I said, his daughter's downstairs, and there's a doctor waiting to revive her. But she needs parts. Yeah. And a lot of it is them putting her back together. And it's very graphic. And that stuff doesn't bother me. But I would not want that job. You know. This movie's okay. I like I said, I remember seeing this as a kid. But, yeah. It was just okay. I don't even understand the title, The Castle of Creeping Flesh, because there's nothing creeping about it. It's just I don't know. It's an okay movie. I would have liked to have seen what Jess Franco would have done with this if he had directed it himself, since he didn't. It was just written by him. It's just kind of like, you know. There is, just like any other movie written by Jess Franco, there is nudity, you know, so get used to that. But this movie kind of, I mean, it's a short movie. It's only 82 minutes, but it feels like it's all over the place. Like they didn't really tighten up the story that well, you know. I liked the Earl. He was a creepy character. I like Alikos. He was a creepy character. The Baron was a douche, you know. There were some really well-developed characters, but the story as a development itself didn't quite feel done. It almost feels like they might have been writing this while shooting this, and they didn't know where to take it. Because there's a whole dream sequence in here that takes place during times of, like, the Three Musketeers, you know. And it just feels like, hey, it's supposed to be a dream. The whole thing is that part there is supposed to be a dream. But it's long, and you're just kind of like, wow. So it feels like they started something, and they're like, no, let's go a different direction. We'll try something else, type of thing. So, yeah, it's an okay movie. And, yeah, I don't really have a whole lot more to say about it. I enjoyed it, but it was just okay. The cover is better than the movie. Let's put it that way. With that being said, of course, I am the 13th Wolfman, and I'm on the prowl.